I'm just having fun. I don't love these thoughts. You tell me that you gon' move on, but I know you not. Tryna make me pay to see my son. They gon' make me hot.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Charlie B, and this is the Little Seed Grow channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you comment, like, and subscribe. And we are going to get into some things today. So this video, we are going to be talking about DDG and Halle and this whole situation with their adorable son Halo and all the drama that's unfolding on social media, mainly through the eyes of DDG and how he's feeling about him not being able to see his son. And let's talk about it. Okay, so if you have been keeping up with the story of DDG and Halle, the story is basically, you know, they were dating, very cute couple. In the midst of their relationship, they ended up having a son. I believe he just turned 1 year old. He's so cute. He looks just like his mama, and his name is Halo. So we don't really know much about the backstory of why DDG and Halle broke up. And we know that they broke up because DDG ended up making a statement saying, you know, we have parted ways, we're not together anymore, blah, blah, blah. And so that's how we all knew that they were no longer together. Now, during this time, Halle never said anything. She never made a statement. So we just know, okay, they're not together. DDG did make that post and say that they weren't together. I believe shortly after that, Halo's birthday happened. You know, we did see them together at the party. All is well. Everything looked fine. And if those of you who don't know, DDG is a content creator on social media. He also does music. So he was doing his streaming stuff. We saw the baby and the skits and all the little videos that he was posting of the baby and all of that, right? It seems like DDG loves his son. I do believe he loves his son. It looks like he is a good dad. He does love to be around his son, just as Halle does like to be around the son. So now that brings us to present day. So DDG goes on social media on his platform and he makes a video basically stating that Halle won't let him see his son. He can't pick him up whenever he wants. You know, just kind of airing out his grievances, kind of saying that when he goes over there to pick up the son, his time is limited. He feels like he can't pick up his son whenever he wants to, and things like that. So he gets on social media basically saying Halle is keeping him away from their son, in his opinion, and he feels like he's a secondary parent, and all of those things. So we're gonna kind of get into his video, and I will play some clips here.
When he ain't even gotta be like that, bro. But today was my last straw. I'm like, all right, cool. Y'all, if y'all was watching me stream yesterday, y'all know I'm like, all right, I wasn't even gonna stream today. I'm like, I ain't streaming today. I'm gonna be with my son. I planned my whole day to be with him. My whole day was around that. And then I get there, and I'm kicked out of the crib, can't see him, whatever. Mind you, we have our own lives. Like, she got her own shit going on. I got my own shit going on in terms of who with. Like, we not together whatsoever. We not boyfriend and girlfriend. So ain't got nothing to do with the content. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I've been dealing with this forever, where I feel like I'm a secondary parent. And I know a lot of dads out there go through this. And the kids will never understand. Luckily, my son is only 1. So I don't have to like worry about him like feeling like, oh, my pop's not there. Every time I'm there, he got a smile on his face. He happy to see me, but he only can see me for no more than 48 hours. I haven't had to have my son to myself for longer than 72 hours max. He's getting picked up, taken away. I can't come get him, whatever. Like, it's like, I don't know what to do at this point. I genuinely don't know what to do. And it's like, I'm just gonna come on here and just say what I say and then get off, go about my day. I just feel like this needs to happen. It needs to be some type of repercussions for this. Because I'm not a deadbeat, nowhere near. I have inspired dads across the world to want to be in their kid life. Why make it harder for me? But I don't even know what to say for real. I wouldn't say this was an impulsive decision, but it's just, bro, I'm just frustrated, bro. Like, yeah, I could take it off that emote. I'm just frustrated, and I just don't know what to do. And I hate that every time I got something going good, it's always some type of drama, something going on in my life. I've been doing really good. I've been keeping my head down, just working, waking up every day, working, dealing with this shit on the same breath. Nobody will really know. And she got this golden image that I've also protected. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to keep doing that because I'm a real. But this is foul, bro. Like, if I want to come get my son, I should be able to get my son. Plain and simple. And I wasn't even coming to take him. Like today, I wasn't even going to take him out because he's sick. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to just grab my son and go hang out with him downstairs. Me and her don't really speak like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to take my son, go hang out downstairs. Whoop. I'm getting kicked out. No. Like it's conversations where it's like, that said to me is so, if you heard it, it's on some leave us alone type. I'm like, bro, like, now I can see if no in the world can tell me that I'm a deadbeat or a bad dad. No in the world can ever say that to me. If my son can talk, he'll tell you my pops is the realest ever. This me. I wish I can be around him more. I don't get the chance to, bro. It's not cool. Like, it's like, all right, like I have never took my son out of the state before. Never been able to. I don't have permission. Like, it's like I have a second mom. Like, I got to ask my second mom, hey, can I take my son? Can I take our son somewhere? But if she want to get up and leave the country and leave the state, I get no say so whatsoever. I can't say one word. Because she tell me that she the primary parent. Like, it's like, bro, this not cool, bro. It's not fair, bro. Like, I promise you, I swear on my life, on my soul, on my son, I never wanted to come on here and say no shit like this. But I feel like this is the only way.
So that if you haven't seen it, you can get a chance to hear from his own mouth what he had to say. So I'm just going to kind of paraphrase from here. So DDG's issue is he doesn't want to feel like he is a weekend dad or a secondary parent. He also wants to have access to his son Halo whenever he wants to see his son and things like that. He also was upset that he says that he lives a little far from Halle, so he had to drive to see his son. And he was saying that when he got there, Halle kicked him out. And, you know, he was saying that when he got there, he said that he took baby Halo downstairs. He wanted to, you know, play with him, hang out with him down there. And he made a point to note that he wanted to be by himself down there with the son. And shortly after that, Halle put him out. He did mention that they were sick. That's key because we're going to come back to that. And, you know, all of that. Then he also was saying, you know, he is a content creator and he's around these women because he has to create content and he can't see his son and, you know, all of these things. Shortly after that, DDG posts a video of a song that he made about his grievances as well, not being able to see his son. And I think he made this video a day after he dropped the first video explaining his grievances, and then he proceeded to drop the video. Now let's fast forward to Halle. So Halle went on Snap and she basically was saying how she's sick, that her and Halo have RSV. And you can clearly tell that Halle is sick and everything in the video. She did not mention anything that DDG said. She just asked mothers to help her if they had any tips, tricks on what she can do, you know, to help them because they're sick. And again, that's key. So let's backtrack here. We're going to kind of get into some things that DDG said. He did mention that they were sick And he also mentioned that he went over there when they were sick and he wanted to go downstairs and play with Halo or see Halo or spend time with Halo by himself. So this is what I want to get into. If Halo has RSV, which he did, he's sick. I don't know if DDG wanted to go downstairs to play with him or what. But maybe Halle was irritated because she's like, look, I told you we're sick. He's sick. So I don't want you down here trying to play with him or do anything extra when he's not feeling well and he should be resting and sleeping. So again, we're speculating. So what I'm feeling like is maybe DDG went downstairs with the baby and he's maybe playing with the baby and, you know, doing all of these things while he's sick. And maybe that irritated Halle because she's like, look, dude, he's sick. He needs to rest. And you're down here, you know, trying to play or do this and that. And again, I'm not saying I'm right because I don't know. But I'm speculating. This is what I'm kind of gathering may have happened that irritated her to set her off. And then I guess, you know, it ended up having her say, you can just go. Again, my opinion. So I'm kind of thinking maybe that's what happened. And again, maybe she was irritated because she said they're sick and he ended up proceeding to come over there anyway. And DDG also said, I think that he lives really far, so he has to drive far to see the baby. So in my mind, if Halle already told you that she's sick, he's sick, and they have RSV, which is contagious, and you still proceed to go over there anyway after she told you that, it's probably already irritating. And then when you get there, you want to dictate, you know, I want to go down here, I want to see him alone, all these things in her home, you know, and you want to come and dictate how you get to see your son and these things like that. So that probably was irritating. Again, my opinion, I don't know, but I'm assuming that he went downstairs, maybe tried to, you know, play with Halo. You know, he drove all the way over there. So in my mind, you're not going to drive all the way over there to watch the baby sleep. You're going to want to play. You're going to want to hold him. You're going to want to see him, you know, and do all of these things, but he's not feeling well. And as a mother, you know, Haley's protective spirit is going to kick in and she's going to get irritated. So that's what I feel like happened. And I feel like that's the part that DDG is not saying. Again, so now that we've kind of established that, I want to get into something that he said. DDG does content, which, you know, is fine. He's a content creator. So with him being a content creator, he does have to be around other people, mainly probably other women, you know, other men and things like that. I feel like if I'm a mother and I'm a new mother, you're doing all this content, which is fine, that's your job, and you're around all these random women, I'm sorry. I don't know about y'all. I don't want my son around all these bops, all these weirdos, all these random women that I don't know, all these women that you're not dating, they're just around because you're doing content. I don't know them. I don't trust them. I don't know their intentions. I don't want my son around these weirdos. Period. And I don't think that DDG understands that. I don't think that he understands why Halle has to be protective of her son, of their son, because if you're the one doing content, you're the one having their son around random people. I don't know what Halle does, but it seems to me the only people I see the baby around is her sister Chloe, maybe even her family. I don't see Halo around all these random people when he's with his mother. So if I'm Halle, yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to feel some type of way about that. You're doing content with random people when my son is there, and I don't know these people's intentions. I don't want my son around all these women that I don't know, and, you know, especially women that you may or may not be dating. So I just have to say that. I want to give my perspective and thoughts on this. One, I think it's really sad that they broke before their son even turned 1 year old. That in itself is sad. You know, to be in a relationship for however long they were together, I don't know how long they were together, but then to produce a child shortly after breakup, and then, you know, they're both in the public eye. You can't decide and dictate, you know, what the other side or what the other parent wants to do. That's probably frustrating. You know, I'm not saying like Halle's perfect or she doesn't want Halo to be seen, But it just seems, you know, she just posts regular videos and photos of her child, you know, like any parent normally does, like little things here and there. DDG is a content creator. So, you know, he did all those funny videos of Halo and things like that. And even though we love to see them and, you know, they're funny and they're cute, we really don't know how Halle felt about that. Like if she was on board with that, if she felt some type of way, if she felt like he was using their child for his own gain. You know, we don't know any of that. But the sad part about it is, this is where I feel like DDG is not understanding. And I'm not going to sit up here and bash DDG, you know, because I don't know all the ins and outs. And I don't think that he's a bad father. I understand how he's probably hurt. And, you know, do I think that he's doing it in the right way? No, I don't. But I can't take away how a father feels about not being able to see their child or whatever his grievances are. Some of them could be valid and some of them may not be. However, he put it out there, so we're going to talk about it. So the part that I don't think that DDG understands is you and Halle are not together. So unfortunately, when a family breaks up, you don't get to see your son whenever you want to. You cannot roll up at her house and dictate where you get to see the son or if she can come downstairs or not. That's not your home. That's not your place. Unfortunately, you guys have to co-parent your son now. And the thing is, that's a new space for both of them. You know, they just went from a relationship to having a baby to a breakup. And they did all of that while their son was under 1 year old. And so I don't think that DDG understands boundaries. I don't think that he understands that, unfortunately, when you break up with your child's mother or father, you are not the primary parent anymore when that child is not in your care. Now, when Halo is in DDG's care, you are the primary parent at that point because you are in charge of the baby. But while he's with his mother, unfortunately, you are not the primary parent at that time because Halo is with his mother. And again, if they were sick, which they are sick, and you're calling Halle or texting her or whatever saying, I want to see my son, I want to see my son. And she's like, okay, but he's really sick. Like me and him are really sick. And you don't respect that. And you still hop in your car, drive hella far because you said you live far. Get there and you're telling her, I want to see him by myself. I want to go downstairs. Basically telling her you don't want her around while you're seeing the baby. And mind you, you're in her house. And two, he's sick. And she knows this. And she's a mother. She's protective. She wants her son to rest. She knows that you probably do the most. You may not even listen. So you want to still proceed to take him downstairs. And again, back to my first thought. He probably was down there acting as if Halo's normal and he's not sick. And that probably irritated her. And she probably said, you got to go. But in his mind, he's looking at it like, this is my son and I should be able. And it's like, DDG, she allowed you to come over. You drove over there. She allowed you to see the son. She allowed you to dictate where you could see him downstairs. But what I feel like happened is you neglected the fact that he's sick and probably tried to act as if, you know, you wanted to play with him and all these things. And that probably sent her to the moon. And she said, you gotta go. You then go on social media and try to paint this picture of her as if you can't see the son. And I think that's what I don't like. I'm not going to bash neither one of them because they're new parents. Their son is only 1 year old, you guys, and they just are going through a breakup. Now they're navigating a new space of co-parenting. And I'm sure that space is probably hard. I'm sure that space is probably frustrating, you know, because they both seem to love their son so much and it's both of their first child and they don't even live close by. And you know, there's probably so much that they both want to do. You know, DDG wants to do content and Halle may want the baby to be private and DDG wants to be able to come over whenever he wants to and Halle may want to set boundaries and Halle might be upset if he has the baby around all these people and he's like, this is my job, you know. So imagine all of that going on right after a breakup, right after dropping a baby. This is their first child. Period. Both of them. This is their first child. That's a lot going on. Emotions are high. Frustrations are high. Not seeing eye to eye. You know? all of that. And to me, that's very sad, you know, to see, you know, couples having to go through that, like I said, especially with their kid being so young. I hope that they navigate this space better. And I'm not going to paint Halle as an angel, because there could be things behind the scenes that she's doing that's not right, you know, where DDG is right. So, you know, it's just that she's just more private. She's not coming on social media airing out all of her grievances about DDG to the world. And I think that's DDG's problem. And I think that's, you know, when people are content creators or their job is to be a public eye, I feel like they kind of lose sight of boundaries, and they kind of just word vomit everything because they're just used to being open, transparent. They have followers, they have a platform. So they're kind of used to getting on there and kind of just spilling the tea. And that's frustrating too if you're a private person, you know? So I think that that's just unfortunate. But DDG has a history of doing this. Like I said, when they first broke up, what did he do? He made a statement: we're not together. As soon as things don't go his way, he hops on his Twitch, YouTube, whatever platform, explaining that. And here's my problem. If you know anything about music, you have to mix, you have to master, you have to record, you have to do all of these things to even get a song right before you release it. So DDG, you go on the internet, air out your grievances, and then you drop a song the next day. That tells me you already had that song ready, and that you strategically planned this. You did a video, then you put out a song, and I just feel like that's tacky because you didn't get your way. And guess what? When you co-parent DDG, which you're going to be doing for the next however many years that you and Halle are not together, unfortunately, you're not going to always get your way because you guys are not in the same household anymore. You guys are not a couple. So there's boundaries that Halle's going to have in place, unfortunately, that you should not cross. And there's boundaries that you're going to have in place that she shouldn't cross. And it's going to be like that because you guys are not in the same household. And unfortunately, DDG, you're not the primary parent. Anytime Halo is with his mother, she is the primary parent. Anytime that he's with you, you then become the primary parent. And if you're being irrational, Halle's going to have to set boundaries. Because if the son was sick, in my opinion, you should have never drove over there. He's in good hands. He's with his mother. They're sick. Let her take care of him. Let them get better. And then you can see your son, which I'm sure she probably said. But in your mind, you heard, we don't need you here. You can't see the son. You just bypassed the fact that the baby is sick with RSV. Come on now. And again, they're young parents and they're trying to figure it out. So that's why I'm not going to bash DDG, you know, and I see a lot of people dragging him and things like that. And I just don't like that because, like I said, they're young, they're new parents. This is their first rodeo. They don't know all the ins and outs. He's probably emotional. He's, you know, probably used to seeing his son whenever he wanted to when they were together or whenever they broke up, whatever, and that changed. And he's trying to grasp that. So I'll give him grace for that. However, you know, I'm sure that Halle has grievances about DDG and, you know, and all that, but she's not coming on social media airing you out, DDG. So, you know, it's like, come on. That's what I don't get. But again, I'm going to have grace because these are new parents. They're young. This is their first child. They love that baby. And I know that they both probably want to be around their son. And it's probably frustrating, you know, to now have to experience boundaries when it comes to your child because you and the other parent are not together anymore. You guys don't live together anymore. So now the realization of every opportunity and every urge that you have to see your child, you may not be able to see them. And that sucks. That is the bad and, you know, unfortunate part about breaking up families. And that's why I feel like people should be careful, you know, when they're having kids and children and wait and, you know, and all of these things and be married. And, you know, there's so much, I ain't gonna go into all of that. But, you know, and I'm not bashing them for that because they have a beautiful son. So, you know, my video is who's wrong? And I feel like they're both wrong. You know, because I do feel like behind the scenes, they probably both do try to use Halo to get their way. And the only thing that we don't see is Halle's part, because she's not the one coming on social media, you know, airing anything out. And, you know, we're only getting DDG's side. And I'm not going to sit up here and cape for Halle and just act like she's an angel and she's perfect. But I do believe that in this situation, the baby was sick. She probably said that, and DDG lost his mind. And, you know, that's just my opinion. So, my final thoughts on this is that DDG, I hope that in the future, when you and Halle are having disagreements, that you guys become adults and sit down and talk and don't use everything for content. This is your real life, and you coming on here spilling your tea does not change anything, because whatever Halle feels, that's what she feels. And I don't think it's fair that you use that to word vomit and tell the whole world that, when the only person that you should be talking to is Halle, because that's who you have the baby with. You don't have the baby with us, you have it with her. Okay? And also, DDG, you need to understand that you're not going to always get your way, because you guys are now co-parenting. And Halle, because you carried Halo, or Halo lives with you primarily, that doesn't mean that you should put up all these barriers for DDG to see his son. I don't think that's fair, you know, because he did mention in the video that you went out of the country and all that, and you didn't say nothing, and I don't think that that's cool. I'm sorry, I have to say that. If you're going to go out of the country, you should at least let the father know, like, hey, we're going here, we're going there, this is when we're going to get there. I do feel like you owe him that respect. You can't just break up with someone, take the baby, and don't communicate. Or don't, you know, let the parent know. Because if DDG would have took Halo out of the country, I'm sure you would have lost it if you didn't know, or you found out on social media. So that's why I feel like they're both wrong. I feel like they both have moments of immaturity and pettiness, and trying to get one up on each other when it comes to the baby, to prove that they are the parent, to prove, you know, that they have power. And I feel like they're in that phase of a power struggle when it comes to their child, because they have not sat down and created a parenting plan, created boundaries, created rules, created any of that, and respect each other's desires when it comes to their son. So I feel like I, you know, hope that they get to that point. But DDG, you was dead wrong for coming out here saying all this. And, you know, having a music video ready right then and there to drop. I feel like you strategically planned that. So for that, you was wrong. But that's just my thoughts on that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. See ya.
You know what I want, Charity. I'm here to pick up my son. Hey, son. All right, I'm out. I'll be back next week to pick him up again.
He's such a good father.